He grabbed you for a reason.
Did you find anything on Opus?
Not yet. Nothing on the servers at the CIA or the Pentagon.
You are an ignorant fool.
Leon, we're running out of time.
Evil always had a name, and its name is Requiem. And zombies, and lickers, and tyrants, and giant hot vampires. Only this time, we go back to where it all began, in Resident Evil Requiem. But does it have what it takes to elevate this series to new heights? Or does this Requiem spell doom for the series? Survive this nightmare as FBI technical analyst Grace, as she investigates the strange death seemingly linked to the infamous Raccoon City incident, with the help of the legendary Leon S. Kennedy, before time runs out. Being a longtime fan of the series, I couldn't wait to get my hands on Requiem, even if Resident Evil's been going through an identity crisis lately. This is the same series that went from zombies and biological mutated monsters to vampires and werewolves and biologically mutated dinosaurs. But seems after all that, they finally found the way to perfectly blend both pants-cropping terror and high-octane action. Grace's story emphasizes exploration and horror, forcing you to navigate tense environments, invade the occasional nightmare fuel, and piece together puzzles to escape. Proof that even after all these years, Capcom still knows exactly how to create a truly memorable survival horror experience. No matter where I went, I never felt safe. I always had this looming dread over myself, wondering if I had enough resources to survive an area, or what route I should take to best avoid my pursuers. Do I risk being attacked and wasting resources by taking a shortcut? Or take the long way around and hope that there's less zombies that way? I quickly fell in love with Grace's scenario. The more I got into it, the more I related with just how much she had to struggle compared to her more experienced, action-focused counterpart. Leon, on the other hand, was a complete opposite. No need to sneak around zombies when you got a fully loaded shotgun by your side. It also helps that you got a trusty hatchet too. If you prefer the more action-focused approach akin to the previous Resident Evil 6 or Resident Evil 4 remake, then you honestly feel right at home here. The question wasn't if I had enough resources to survive an encounter, it was more so how many monsters are they going to throw at me before they realize I'm Leon S. Kennedy. Having two wildly different approaches to survival horror isn't so easy to achieve. Heck, the last time they tried this, they nearly ended the franchise. But in Requiem, it surprisingly just works. The dual protagonist design ensures that no matter who you're playing as, it never feels old or repetitive in any way. Especially when you can choose to play both scenarios in either first or third person. If you prefer to capitalize on horror and experience it firsthand, then switch on that view to first person and see what truly means to fight for your life. But if you're like me, you'd prefer the good old classic over-the-shoulder third person. Whichever viewpoint you choose, there's plenty of action horror to go around. Unfortunately, the horror also extends to much of the story. Like most Resident Evil titles, it starts off increasingly strong, but gradually shifts and deteriorates the further you get towards the end. And by the time the credits rolled, I was left with a lot more questions than I had answers. In fact, I actually gave up on anything making sense a little after the halfway point. Resident Evil Requiem is a giant step forward for the series and opens the door to introduce a new way to experience survival horror. Whether you're a fan of the puzzle and survival aspects of horror, or prefer to be a lot more combat focused, there's something here for everyone. Plus, the addition of first and third person viewpoints, giving you two totally different experiences for the price of one, ensures that the Resident Evil series is far from over. Even if the long running story could use a bit of work. Resident Evil Requiem unveils itself a 9 out of 10.
There's no escaping your destiny.